Hey y'all, Libby Webb here with Social Media Southern Style. Wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how I use a custom domain to direct my customers to specific locations on the web through their phone or through the computer so that I can give them an easy to remember shareable link when I have something special going on. So I'm going to use a specific example that I created here at our restaurant, New Market Barbecue, for a recent voting campaign that we were a part of for a barbecue competition. So as you can see on my screen here, I'm going to run through and show you that the desired end result, we want to have an easy to remember shareable link. I went out to GoDaddy and purchased votenewmarketbbq.com. I then redirected that link to a SmartURL shortener that I created. I'm going to show you how I set that up. And within that SmartURL, I forward, if they're a web computer user, I forwarded them to one link. And if they're a mobile user, I forwarded them to another link, which is the m.facebook, which is a mobile version of Facebook that allows them to interact with the voting poll on their mobile device. If I had just forwarded them to the computer version of the link, it wouldn't have worked. So using this SmartURL shortener, I was able to redirect my customers to the proper link, which allowed me to get more votes during this competition than I probably would have otherwise if I had just shared it. So if I had just shared the direct link. So let's see, let me go right over here to SmartURL. So when you're in SmartURL, you can actually redirect people based on country. So if you have something going on special that is based on country, if you want to send them to one screen based on one country, another screen based on another country, you can do that right here. You would just put your country of origin here, and then you can just submit as many URLs based on each country as you'd like. For me, I wanted to go to based on device. So the default URL is if they're using what they call an unspecified device, which would be like a computer, and you'd paste that in here. And then based on based on device destinations, based on the phone that they're using. So you just go in here and you add each one for each type of phone or mobile device. It could be an iPad, Android. So I just went through and I added a row for each device so that I would be covered no matter which device type they used. Then you fill in here what is the shortened URL. And for me, I just put vote NMBBQ is what I put in there. Okay, so I've already used this. I'm going to show you what this looks like when it's all said and done. But that's what I did here is I just put a shortened link so I'd know what it meant and it would mean something to my customers. Most of my customers aren't really going to see this. It's just kind of in the background, but I want it to correlate to the end result. So be sure the names that you use correlate to the custom domain that you're selecting. And then put a description in here that kind of explains what you're doing, how you're using this. It's just for yourself and for personal reference later. So once you get that all filled in, if you need to give somebody else access to this, you can. If not, just hit save. Okay. So I'm going to show you what this looks like completed. So this is vote NMBBQ, all filled in. This is the computer link. If you're using desktop version of Facebook, that's where they would go. If they're on a mobile device, this is the m.facebook link, which would take them from a mobile device into the mobile platform of Facebook and allow them to interact with the voting poll. Okay, so once you have this set up, then you would actually go into GoDaddy and go into your domain management and scroll down and select the specific domain. And here's mine in this case. Scroll down to forwarding and click on manage. And you would paste in your SmartURL that you just got through setting up. You would post that in here. And once you've done that, then you hit save. And it'll take probably anywhere from 10 minutes to sometimes an hour, sometimes longer, for GoDaddy to replicate that change across the internet. So be sure that you give yourself some time to get that set up and then test it to be sure that it works. Matter of fact, I'll just go right over here and show you. If I type in votenewmarketbbq.com, it's going to actually, because we're on the computer, it's going to open up and show you the voting poll in Facebook. And this is no longer active. It's not an active poll, but it's still set up and working, or you can see it anyway. Okay, so that's how I purchase a domain. I go into SmartURL, create a URL, paste in the custom links of where it needs to go, whether it's on a computer or a mobile device. And then once I have saved it, I then copy. You hit the clipboard here, copy. You hit copy here, then you go into GoDaddy and go down to forwarding and paste it in, save it, allow it to replicate, and your domain's ready to go. Okay, and then you can actually start using it in your marketing to your clients. So in my case, here's an example of how I was using votenewmarketbbq.com over here on my Facebook page, where I was sharing with my customers and asking them to go and vote for us. So this is just a really great way of utilizing a memorable, shareable link that over time, if you have other voting campaigns going on in this particular case, one of the best things about SmartURL that hands down beats Bitly, for example, you can come in here and actually update these links. So today I'm doing a different campaign. I then have the option to go in and update this, but my customers still get used to the technology or the terminology, excuse me, of votenewmarketbbq.com. It's memorable. It's something that's easy to share, and I can in the back end update this. Okay, so one of the other cool things that you get is statistics. There's awesome statistics in here. Let me back this up and show you from back in March when this was originally in use. Let's see, let me fix the date range here, because this was back in March when we were running this voting campaign. Okay, so you can actually tell with the statistics here from where the traffic came. So, for example, 72% of the traffic came from computers, and then the balance of the traffic came from mobile devices. Okay, so it's really important to see, you know, what countries your information, your target traffic's coming from, your referring domains. If you have advertising going on, you can see what's working, what's not working. It's just a really great way to monitor your progress and then make changes and adjustments as necessary. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to come back over here to my sheet. So we have an easy to remember shareable link. We linked it to SmartURL, which is then linked to a computer and a mobile link. And by using SmartURL, you get great statistics and ensures that your customers land on the appropriate website for what you're trying to achieve. Okay? If you have any questions, I'll be glad to give you a hand and help you in any way I can. Again, this is Libby Webb with Social Media Southern Style. Y'all have a great day.